Good morning, Team PUSD, and welcome back. I hope that you were able to take some time to rest, relax, and recharge. I know that some of you are wondering, who is this person with the white beard? And where is the superintendent? Well, don't worry, it is I. Anyway, I bring you greetings on behalf of the Board of Education and would like to thank them for their service to our district. I would like to take a moment to acknowledge our labor partners. Dr. Allison Steps, UTP President, Shahada Swain, CSEA President, and George Armada, Chief Steward, Teamsters. Thank you for coming alongside the administration and working throughout the summer to help us plan for and get ready for the reopening of schools. Thanks to our amazing teachers for the stellar job you did last school year, and for what you will do to ensure that our students receive the best possible education in this new school year. Thanks also to the site administrative teams and the central office team for working nonstop since early March to close out the last school year and prepare for the reopening of schools. I am truly proud to be a part of this team. The future of PUSD. Tomorrow, starting now. That is our theme for the year. And this theme is appropriate because recent events will forever change the way we operate as a school system. We must seize on this opportunity to create an organization that is indeed the school system of choice, and that journey starts today. This pandemic has forced us to rethink how instruction is delivered. That is what crises do. They force us to adapt. It has forced us to incorporate the use of technology in a far more meaningful way. One that comports with the way the 21st century child learns. This change will not be easy to implement, especially for our teachers who will have to learn how to navigate a new learning management system, a new online program, and new communication tools. But all of these changes are necessary. While many positives will come from our experience dealing with the virus, some significant areas of concern have surfaced as well. Moving online has starkly exposed deep inequities in our educational system, especially in the areas of technology, extended learning opportunities, and nutrition. Although our school system has worked hard to address these issues, we cannot do it alone. There must be a commitment from the local, state, and federal levels to address these issues in a far more substantial way. In addition to inequities exposed by COVID-19, the recent murder of George Floyd by the police right before our very eyes is a powerful reminder of the divisions in our society along racial lines. This feeling of disempowerment by African Americans and other minorities, in many ways, occurs in the public school system as well. I know there are some who will question the validity of this statement, but for those of you who have been in our school system for a while, you will remember the African American Student Success Initiative. That was a 5-year effort to have critical race conversations with the outcome being improved student achievement. What has stuck with me are the feelings that 288 African American students shared regarding how they felt they were treated or perceived by adults in our school system. In general, they did not feel that some adults had high expectations of them, nor did they take the time to build relationships with them. They also felt that some adults had held other groups of students to different standards. Whatever the reason is, in a system where there are an inordinate number of suspensions of students of color, an over-identification of students of color in special education programs, and significant academic achievement gaps, we must examine that system and make changes. You often hear this platitude bandied around: education is a civil rights issue of today. If that is so, then let's address this civil rights issue in a meaningful way. With that said, I'm pleased to announce that CTA, the UTP, CSEA, and the administration of the district have partnered to examine in depth and answer and address issues related to a single question. That question being, how have systems in PUSD failed some students of color? We have convened a guiding coalition that will work with every stakeholder in our district to recommend policy changes that will result in an environment where equity and inclusion is central to the experience of all kids in PUSD. This work will also actualize Board Resolution 2566, titled Commitment to Black Students, which was championed by board member Michelle Richardson Bailey. I am confident that we will address this issue in a meaningful way. Thank you all for everything that you're doing for kids, and I wish you all a successful school year despite the very challenging circumstances. I want you to know that we are in this together, and together we will create a brighter future for our district and the kids we serve. And now let me take a moment to thank the Pasadena Educational Foundation for all that it has done to support our students and staff. Today, we honor members of the PUSD team with the support of the PEF and the California Credit Union.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Leslie Barnes, Chief Financial and Operations Officer. It's my pleasure to introduce the 2020 Classified Employee of the Year, Ms. Elizabeth Powell. Ms. Powell has been the Director of Food Service with PUSD for the past 3.5 years and was the Assistant Director prior to that. In her role as Director, she's responsible for the administration of the Food Service Department and the District Warehouse. She's done an outstanding job this past year under very difficult circumstances. Through her leadership, food service staff, along with the aid of community volunteers, have served over 700,000 meals since the stay-home order went into effect on March 16th. Ms. Powell has a true passion for the feeding and well-being of our students. Not only did she lead the seamless feeding of students upon the closure of our sites, she also spearheaded the distribution of 24,000 reading books from our district warehouse to children during curbside meal service, and managed to fill all 41 little libraries throughout Pasadena twice since June. Prior to the pandemic, Ms. Powell was leading the charge to improve the quality of food in our cafeterias. She introduced breakfast in the classroom, and as of this school year, has secured the ability of all PUSD students to eat school meals at no cost. She truly is an asset to the district and to each and every PUSD student. Congratulations, Liz, on this much-deserved recognition.
When we switched to the curbside, we have a lot of employees chose to stay home because they had other illnesses or pre-existing illnesses, their age, those types of things. So we sort of narrowed down to a great working group. And then when we had an issue with an employee that they thought had the COVID-19 at the very beginning, Dr. Go from the Department of Public Health closed all of our kitchens down and said that we needed to just do curbside and that we couldn't do production.
So this year has been stressful to say the least. I have to say though, when we were sitting in a meeting when we heard that's it, the district's closing, and Liz just rose to the occasion and said, okay, this is what we're doing because we know we need to get our families food.
We literally did the turnaround within 72 hours. On Friday, we were told that schools were closing. On Monday, by Tuesday, we were up and running and serving meals at 7 of our locations around our district. And that is pretty amazing, and it would not have even gotten done at all, let alone in that short time, if it wasn't for Liz. So thank you, Liz.
Liz has been very supportive of drawing everybody's ideas and motivating our staff and bringing them together to serve a better product to our students.
Oh, what would I like to tell my staff? That they're the best and that I appreciate them.
Liz, you are so deserving of this award, and I can't think of any other employee in this district that is more deserving of it. So congratulations, and thank you for everything you've done for our department and me personally.
You are truly a lunch lady hero, and I aspire to be as great as you one day.
Good morning, PUSD, and welcome back to another exciting school year. It is my pleasure to introduce the 2020 Principal of the Year, Brian Stanley of Rose City High School. Brian Stanley is a gifted leader who puts his experience as a youth in the foster care system to work for his students at Rose City. He often says that Rose City students are incredible and that working with them rejuvenates him. Brian has been with the PUSD for 18 years, first as a teacher at McKinley and later as a teacher, dean, and assistant principal at Rose City. He became the principal of Rose City in 2015. Under his leadership, Rose City was once again named a model continuation high school by the state of California. Rose City teacher Michael McNeely was named Teacher of the Year by the California Continuation Association. Rose City's Kathleen Watson named Support Staff of the Year by California Continue Education Association. Brian is the person you can count on. He's a yes, I can do it, innovative spirit. Congratulations, Brian. We're also very proud of you.
My favorite thing about being a principal is interacting with the students, which I've missed very much, especially for Rose City High School students. They all have unique stories and what's gone on in their lives, why they fell behind in school. And it's just a privilege to work with them and to get to know them and just to walk with them, to be part of their journey.
When it came down to graduation this year, we knew it was going to be a virtual graduation. We split up into teams, and we're going to go visit the seniors and take them their cap and gowns and take photos. And I was paired with him, and we went to several different families. And I'll never forget, when we showed up to Moises' house, his entire family was dressed up. Suits, ties, dresses, makeup, the whole bit. They had a nice backdrop made for him. And the gratitude that they showed for him, and they could not thank him enough. I mean, they ran out, no one's supposed to be touching or hugging, but you could tell that that's the instinct they had. That's an impact on a family. It might just look like one student on paper, but it's an entire family who was so proud of him for graduating. And then to get to see the principal show up at their door to take his graduation photo, you don't get that very often. I want to know that he's going to be here until I'm ready to retire.
So, the joke is on you. Surprise! You were sneaky last time and didn't tell anybody that you got Principal of the Year. So this time, you didn't know that we were making you this video. I can't summarize in this short video how happy I am to hear this exciting news. You've made working at Rose City for me such an incredible experience, and I am thankful every day for your compassion, your patience, and your amazing leadership.
Mr. Stanley, congratulations on getting Principal of the Year. So happy you got this award and brought more recognition to Rose City and to all the good things you've been doing there.
I'd like to congratulate Brian Stanley on becoming Principal of the Year. I can't think of a more deserving principal. His dedication to his students is so palpable, And the fact that he reaches out to everybody in the community to make sure his students get the absolute best they can is an inspiration.
Congratulations, Mr. Stanley. This is great news to hear. Being nominated and getting Principal of the Year has got to be very exciting for you. I'm very happy to be working with you and at Rose City High School for the past couple of years, and I do look forward to many more years to come. Congratulations once again.
You care for these students like nobody else, and you are always student-centered. Everything your vision is always student-centered, and wherever you take the school is based on what's best for these students. It feels like a family at Rose City, and it's all because of you and all the stuff you've done for Rose City and students and us. So thank you again.
You are the perfect person, like 1,000%, who deserves this recognition. So congratulations.
It's about getting people to want to be better, to want to proceed with you, with everything that they have and everything they believe. And that's what Brian is. That's what Brian does.
Hello, I'm Steve Miller, the Chief of Human Resources. It is my pleasure to introduce the 2020 Volunteer of the Year, Mr. Jeff Albert. When schools closed in March because of the pandemic, Jeff Albert was among the first to volunteer to serve meals at the PUSD grab-and-go centers. He also volunteered to deliver meals to families and others who couldn't get to the grab-and-go centers. He ensured that our most vulnerable students, families, and individuals got the nourishment they needed. In his role with Collaborate Pasadena, he works tirelessly to fill the gap in services between various organizations in our community so that children and their families have the support they need to thrive. During the pandemic, many individuals and organizations stepped up to support our students. Jeff Albert represents the incredibly giving and generous spirit of the volunteers who work every day to support our students. And again, on behalf of all of us, congratulations, Jeff, and thank you.
And honestly, the best stuff is actually being able to work with kids, which I don't get to, especially now. I don't get to do a whole lot, but seeing the impact, or just sitting down and talking to a kid and as if they're they're a person and you're having a conversation. To me, that is really rewarding. Having a teacher say thank you, having a principal say thank you. I know how hard everybody in PUSD is working, especially now. And if I can do something to help alleviate a burden, for somebody who's either a teacher or a site administrator, or and so they can focus on their skills that I don't have, I gladly would take that up. I think in order to have a really engaged, active public, we need to have really good education. And, this is our future.
Hello, my name is Steve Miller, Chief of Human Resources. It is my pleasure to introduce the 2020 Teacher of the Year, Eric Gothold of Rose City High School. Eric Gothold has been a teacher in PUSD for more than 28 years and served as the assistant principal for 4 years. He spent the first 26 years at Washington Middle School. At Rose City, he teaches studio art and photography and has placed students into art internships, obtained scholarships for aspiring artists, and helped students curate, prepare, and install the district's annual No Boundaries Student Art Exhibition. PUSD's Teacher of the Year represents our district in the Los Angeles County Teacher of the Year Awards. On behalf of all of us, congratulations, Eric. We could not be more pleased. Thank you.
My whole family is in education in some fashion. So when I was deciding what I wanted to do, it seemed natural to at least explore education. And my first taste of it got me hooked. Right now, teaching is a challenge. Everything that I use, all the tools that I have at my disposal are based on relationships with students, with parents, and the challenge has been how to establish that relationship with kids from a distance. But when the one student that you hope would respond does, it gives me that hope again. It gives me that same feeling I had when I was a first-year teacher, that I can do this.
Mr. Gothel has been selected as Teacher of the Year. That's the best news in all of the galaxy. Congratulations. Couldn't have gone to a more deserving person.
Congratulations, Mr. G. This is exciting news. It's been an honor to work with you this past year. I look forward to many more years coming up in the future. Congratulations once again.
Congratulations, Mr. Gothel, on getting Teacher of the Year for PUSD. Great job. It's been great working with you at Rose City.
I hope you have an awesome year, and I know I will because I'll be working with the Teacher of the Year. Bye.
You either do or you quit. And there is no quit in teaching. You have to keep going and trying things until something works.
Despite the many challenges we're facing to remain safe as a community, there are many who have stepped up to face this challenge with care and concern. There are many heroes among us. And because of the way you've stepped up, our community has clearly seen how our schools are the cornerstone of our society. While there are many heroes, we've decided to honor 3 departments for their exceptional work. The Superintendent's Award is designed to honor those unsung heroes among us. And I would like to thank the California Credit Union for their generous sponsorship of these awards. And so it is my honor to present to you the recipients of the 2020 Superintendent's Award. The first department is the ITS Curbside Team. We thank them for their outstanding efforts on the front lines, supporting the continued education of PUSD students in the sudden transition to online learning. The second department is the food service workers, who have been tirelessly working on the front lines to serve the community to make sure our children are fed despite these challenging times, helping them to focus on their continued education. And finally, our CIPD team for making sure that our teachers, staff, and administrators are trained and supported to continue teaching our students through online learning. Congratulations to our awardees.